What is going on, people? This is the JT Sports Show, episode 27. We have a special one today. It is going to be less talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves because right now they don't deserve to be talked about. It is an off day. Tomorrow night they play against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That is a must-win game. Today we have Lewis
Loser
Crosby and
leaves
Jackson.
town.
What's that?
So loser leaves town.
We're not going to talk about them. Lewis Crosby, Jackson Bourse join the show today. You see the new background. It's a Vikings background because we're going to talk about the Vikings. We're going to talk about the NFL. We'll hit on some Twins and whatever comes to the minds of us three. So, boys.
But we will also be doing some trade machine stuff.
No, he can't do that.
As a nod to last year.
No, that happens when the Timberwolves are down in Game 4.
No, that happens when they blow a 26-point lead in the playoffs. That's sad.
Game 3.
That's depressing. All right. Where do we want to start? Should we start with the Vikings?
Let's start with the Vikings, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously last week they played against the Lions, and to me, and from my source, I wasn't surprised as to what happened in the game. The Lions basically shredded everything on our defense. Donatel comes out yesterday and says we just need to execute better. That's the exact answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Real quick, what are the chances Donatel is still on this coaching staff next year?
I think that the next few weeks will be telling. It doesn't seem like KOC is horribly confident with him, but I think he's got a few weeks to clean up his act, but I don't think they'll be afraid to move on if they exit in the divisional round of the playoffs, especially. I mean, especially if they're exiting in the wild card weekend, he'll be gone. But I knew going into the season their defense wasn't going to be good.
Yeah.
We kind of knew that their offense would be great and their defense would be good. So we can't all be sitting here in week 15 being like, why is the defense so bad when we knew that they're going to be bad?
I agree, and I knew it was going to be the defense that, if anything, held this team back. It would probably be the defense, but my God, has it been bad. Like, we were mad at Zimmer's defenses the last few years. Watching this defense the last 5 weeks, you feel hopeless. When it's 3rd and 10, you just know they're going to throw it down the middle and get a first down. It's just a guarantee. Mac Jones freaking shredded them. Jared Goff shredded them. Who was the team in between them? I can't even remember.
Jets, Mike White.
Oh, Mike White, of course.
Did kind of shred him for Mike White standards.
He did in the second half.
But the thing that impressed me during that game was that they would kind of hold. He would shred them, but then they get in the red zone and the Vikings would hold them.
Yeah,
which
is the problem. That's Donatel's thing is bend, don't break. Like, you can give up whatever you want in the neutral zone. So I'm going to call it the neutral
You just have
zone.
such little room for error.
The red zone, he's like, give cushion. And then he's like, then we'll stop him in the red zone. And it's stupid.
But then also,
we thought it was going to be bad.
We broke a couple times.
This bad. This is Zimmer-like. This is last year's Zimmer. This is 5 games in a row where he's given up 400-plus yards. Worst in history.
This is worse than last year's Zimmer.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think it'd be this bad.
Well, beside Patrick Peterson, the next most important person in the secondary is Harrison Smith, and him not being in caused 2 bomb touchdowns last game.
Yeah, you're right. But
so
even when he is in,
they're still
back,
out. It will be.
I think Zadarius Smith has been battling injuries like the whole year. The first few weeks he was really good, and now the last 5-6 weeks he's been basically silent. Danielle Hunter has been, well, I guess from what people are saying, statistically, he is rushing the quarterback. He has a lot of hurries, quote unquote, but he has I don't know how many sacks, not many.
Well, it only takes 2 seconds for the ball to come out 10 yards, which is what they do on 3rd down every single time. So at some point, you got to play press coverage.
I think the real issue is our linebackers in this scheme need to know how to cover, and Eric Kendricks cannot cover someone for the life of him. Jordan Hicks, I honestly think Jordan Hicks has been better than Kendricks this year. He has more tackles, and just from the eye test to me, I think he's been better. But I think the linebackers are probably the biggest issue with this team right now.
Yeah, they're going to have to address those issues in the draft next year. It doesn't help, having both your 1st and 2nd round pick be complete whiffs. I mean, we don't know what Scene would have turned into, so we got to wait another year. But
Booth was not.
As of now, that's just 2 whiffs in the draft.
Kwesi's draft this past year is not looking great. Let's just say
But you know what is? It's the Hawkinson trade. That was an amazing
fantastic.
trade.
That was
Unbelievable trade.
Except for that 3rd and 10 pass that he dropped. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. Well, Hawkinson, he's not a great run blocker. And the Lions are like 6-1 or 5-1 since they got rid of him, which is just weird, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think that's more.
He's a great number 2. He's a great number 2.
Their defense is
JJ.
what they did. Somehow they figured out their defense.
Yeah,
because their offense has never been an issue all year.
I agree.
It's their defense that's
stuck. It's ever since they fired their defensive backs coach and they stopped blitzing as much.
And that's Dan Campbell also will make 3 bonehead decisions a game that could end up costing them. Like we would all like that. He's addicted to faking punts when he faked a punt from the 25-yard line or 26-yard line.
Yeah, you're right.
And if they get stopped, that game is totally different. And we're saying Dan Campbell's the biggest idiot alive, but now we're saying he's smart.
He's got nothing to lose. He just coaches like it's the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Which, I like Dan Campbell. I don't think he's a smart coach, but he can motivate a team, and that can take you somewhere. I don't know how far it can take you, but the Lions are playing great.
Maybe a little bit like PJ Fleck.
Yeah. Speaking of how far it can take you, what do you think the ceiling is for this Vikings team?
Probably the 2nd round.
Yeah, if they play the 49ers, I don't see a way they beat the 49ers.
No. Like, I mean, Kirk's going to be laying on his back all game.
Kirk looked phenomenal last game. Kirk might have been Kirk's best game of the year.
No, Kirk's been good, but
it was.
And he followed it up with his worst game of the year, in my opinion, against the Jets. He looked terrible in that game.
Yeah, well, the Jets have a good defense. The Lions have a bad defense. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but then they still, if you get a Kirk and JJ game where it's that on, you need to win those games. Like your defense needs to be good enough where you can win those games, and especially against a team with as many offensive weapons as the 49ers have, which will likely be their 2nd round. Opponent if they can get out of the 1st round, which I believe they can. But
I think they will win the 1st round.
They match up horrible against DeMeco Ryans' defense, and DeMeco Ryans has the best defensive line in the league. Yeah, and he'll be a head coach next year.
Yeah.
Hold on, can I go?
Yes.
I think the ceiling is Super Bowl. I really do. If this team can get hot,
theoretically, sure.
The ceiling is a Super Bowl loss. I think if we get to the Super Bowl, we will lose to the Chiefs. But it's all
the Eagles look like the best team. I think the 49ers and the Eagles is a gauntlet of teams to play.
I'm not going to. No. The Eagles, we'll get into that. But the 49ers, that is we were texting about this, Lewis. That is a very scary game. But
it will be at home.
There's reason for hope because Brock Purdy is going to be their quarterback. And I'm sorry, if you can't beat whatever his name is, Brock Purdy in a playoff game, then you don't deserve to win.
Did you see the way Brock Purdy played last game?
I don't care.
He's a clone of Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he can throw to the outside.
But I think this team is of destiny.
The thing is, it's not Brock Purdy playing for the Commanders. It's Brock Purdy playing for Kyle Shanahan, who's considered top 5 offensive mind. So it's all you got to do is hand it off to Christian McCaffrey, hand it off to Debo, throw these 5-yard passes to Christian McCaffrey and Debo.
Debo might be out.
Let them do the rest. Debo will be back by then. He's out for 3 weeks.
I think the luster and the magical bits of the season that people were feeling. So I feel it ended at the Cowboys game.
No,
I think that game killed everything.
Week, but yeah. I actually feel like it ended against
because the Lions game I knew we were going to lose. I had the feeling, but the Cowboys game, the way they lost that game, just a dumpster of a game. I mean, that we were so high on this team going into that game, coming off Buffalo Bills, and you lose by 37 or 40 points at home. That just that can kill a season. I think it might have.
Well, look at me being the optimist, and you always talk about how I'm so negative. I just said I think we can make it to the Super Bowl, and you said the ceiling is the 2nd round.
I do.
You also said
I don't think they're
hold on. Tuck also said that he sees this team going 10-7 after week 2. I said 13-4.
Okay,
there's a chance I'm still closer.
At the same time, Jackson, you're very positive during the week. and then it gets to 12. It gets to
yeah.
12.
Hey, let's get into
12
Dalvin Cook
p.m.
here.
It
Let's
gets to
talk
12
some
p.m.
Dalvin.
and all of a sudden Kevin O'Connell is the worst coach in the league.
Hey. No.
Let's talk some Dalvin Cook here, all right? Lewis, I want to ask you first because I know Jackson's opinion on this. How much is Dalvin not running the ball well this year on him versus not having any room to run?
I think it's pretty close to 50% blame on each side. Because you would 3 years ago, you're seeing Dalvin break some of those tackles and get an extra 3-4 yards where he's not getting that. But then at the same time, you're looking at the replays. It's like, well, he literally has nowhere to run right now. Like, where can he go that, like, let's say the best running back in the league, like Derrick Henry or someone of that, like Christian McCaffrey, if they're in the same scheme, they're not doing head and
Correct.
shoulders better than Dalvin anyway.
Yeah.
So it's more of just a play calling thing where it's like they run on first down every single time, where you look at the other teams that are successful and they're throwing on first down. Except for the 49ers, they're an anomaly. But like the Chiefs, the Eagles, a lot of those teams, they throw on first down. And our pass game is so good, especially last game. It's like we're getting 10 yards a throw minimum. Why are we sticking to the run when we're gaining we're averaging 0.4, 0.6 yards a carry?
We've had this discussion, and I am fully on the train that you have to keep running the ball. You cannot, especially when you're playing a team with a good pass rush, you cannot just be predictable drop back with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback. He will get demolished. And Kirk under pressure every down is not good. And we all know that. So you have to stick with the run. I've been saying this for weeks. Like that Patriots game, fantastic example. I think the reason they won that game, won that game, okay, well, they almost let every single game slip away from them. The reason they won that game is because they handed the ball off to Dalvin 22 times. Now he might have averaged 1.5 yards a carry.
He did.
But they have to. They have to keep the defense honest. If you just let them pin their ears back and come after Kirk, it's going to be a long day. And that's what I'm like. If Kevin O'Connell just starts throwing the ball against the Niners defense in the divisional round, say goodbye.
Yeah, but at the same time, they just got to design some better runs then, or figure out their blocking scheme.
I agree. Yeah. No,
I'm going to read some Dalvin stats here. 15 attempts for 23 yards.
And so you're on the side, obviously, that it's all on Dalvin, or majority on him.
Yeah, like Lewis said, he doesn't have the same burst. It's just like, oh, it's 3 yards here, it's 2 yards here. And even when there is a big hole and say he gets 5, it's like he slips at the last second.
He has had some breakout runs though, like the Bills game. And
so that run, does that and
weird. We're back.
Bills.
Yeah, the Bills game run. So if he can just do that, do you think he just chooses not to? Because he's shown that he can.
No, I mean that's just an anomaly too.
No, but he blew past. He literally blew past everybody.
There's just something there, and there's just way too many 2 yard runs.
I think also, a lot of it has to do with the offensive run scheme.
The problem is we were put in a tough spot. Spielman, when he was the GM, was put in a tough spot because the fans loved him. Dalvin was like a dominant top 5 running back in the league.
Yes.
And you had to pay him. We would have been sitting here being like, why didn't we pay Dalvin? Why did we let him go? Yeah. But you can't. It's just in the NFL, you can't pay running backs and be successful.
Right.
Like look at the Chiefs. They don't pay. They just pick up new guys every 2 years, like that Isaiah Pacheco guy.
Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, you just can't pay running backs these big ticket contracts, or else they're taking up way too much of your cap, and you're relying too much on them. Like the Giants, they are going to have to figure out what they want to do with Saquon. But a team like Zeke and the Cowboys, their second string running back is better than Zeke. So Pollard's
I'm not opposed to trading Dalvin Cook.
Same.
I'm not opposed to trading him either. But what do you?
I think he will. I think Wasey's going to this summer.
You'd have to get you have to eat a big chunk of their contracts. You got to get owner's approval for that. Then that would hurt against the cap. So you just have to figure all that out.
Who do you want do you want Madison as the starting running back?
I don't know.
I don't know. You could draft. There are so many running backs that come in the 3rd and 4th round of the NFL draft that are like really good for 2 years.
Especially in this offense, right? If we kind of get away from this run scheme and kind of do, I don't know, more of a Rams offense from last year, or I don't know, like the Chiefs. Just like great offenses don't
Think about it.
need
Like
some
last
great
year, the
running.
Rams offense had 0 run game.
Yeah, you can just recycle running backs though.
Love that.
Almost. Like you look at
Yeah.
a team like the Steelers, like they let James Conner go. Smart. They just got Najee for it. I mean, they took him in the first round, which isn't that smart, but you can let running backs go and they're pretty easily replaceable.
Yeah.
I just think it's less on Dalvin, more on the scheme and offensive
I agree.
line. I
agree, but also
I think the Kubiak system run game is very good, and Dalvin succeeded in that. I don't think all of a sudden he just sucks. I don't
agree.
Yeah,
but you do slow as a running back when you get older. It's tough position.
No, I know, but he was good last year, or maybe I think he was pretty good last year.
He
wasn't bad.
He was.
All right. Do we want to talk more NFL? Let's see. Give me your Super Bowl top. No, we're gonna go top 5 teams in the league right now that you're most confident in come playoff time. And I'll let you guys go first. I'll go first. You guys can think about it.
All right,
my number
I got mine, but go ahead.
My number 1 team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm pretty confident in that. They show up every playoffs. My number 2 is the Buffalo Bills, because I think they are also very good, even though I think the Chiefs and the Bills are going to probably have to face in the championship game, or the AFC championship game. The Eagles are number 3 to me. Bengals number 4 to me. And let's see, who should I have as number 5? Niners. I have the Bengals ahead of the Niners. I think Joe Burrow might go to the Super Bowl again, but
I don't see it.
I know Jack.
I like that list a lot.
Yeah, I do too. Well, mine, I think that, let's say everyone is purely healthy. Everyone's healthy. Josh Allen and the Bills are the best team in the league if everyone is healthy. I think that they have the higher ceiling than the Rams, or sorry, not the Rams, than the Chiefs. When Josh Allen's firing at all cylinders, you saw them play each other. And with that 1 seed that the Bills will probably get, I think that 1 seed is hugely, hugely important.
Yeah.
In the AFC, especially.
I just think Josh Allen makes 1 too many mistakes in a game.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, maybe, but I think he can just make.
They just lost Von Miller too.
They just lost Von Miller, which really hurts. But I just don't.
Mahomes doesn't do that.
The Chiefs are exposable, I think, at times, like when they try and get too cute. But like we saw the Bengals just beat them. Maybe the Bengals just have their number. They can lose to the Bengals in an AFC division.
I don't know what's with that.
But also a dark horse team that I don't watch, like look out, but the Chargers, as they're not my top 5, but I can see them.
They're entertaining. I like watching
them. I would not want to play the Chargers right now. Joe, what's his name? Herbert was hurt bad. I think he was hurt worse than the team let on when he broke those ribs. And I think he's just getting back now. And once they can figure out that he's full and can throw the ball downfield, which he has been the last few weeks, they're dangerous. They're a better team than the Titans, and they have the same record. And the Titans are going to be in the playoffs,
coach is terrible.
Sure.
Staley's an awful coach.
But maybe I'm just saying this because I hate them, but I don't think the Eagles are going to go to the Super Bowl. I think that the 49ers are going to beat them. Or possibly the Vikings. But
God, Hurts is playing on another level right now.
He is, and they got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, which are tough to guard.
Yes.
But their run game, they're
going to be at home every game.
Is exposable. They're going to be home every game. Coming to the link is tough. But also, I could see the Cowboys beating them in the divisional round too.
I don't see it. Let's
say Dak plays perfect. Dak would have to play perfect. Micah Parsons
that would be sick if he did.
Micah Parsons wrecks the game, and Diggs has a couple, like an interception or whatever. I think that there's doable that the Cowboys beat them in the divisional round as well.
I can't picture Dak in the road white uniform. I feel like Dak winning that huge game. I can't picture it.
Yeah, I can't either. But it's possible.
The defense would do it. If they were to win that game, it would be because of their defense.
Yeah. Well,
but
for me.
All right, wait. Okay,
hold on.
You go first. Yep, sorry.
Oh, okay. For me, the Chiefs are number one. They're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now. Number two, probably the Bills. Three, I kind of have the same list as you, Tucker, but I'm going to go I'm going to go 4, the 49ers, and 5, the Vikings. I'm going to kick the Bengals out.
You said the Eagles are 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the Bills too?
Yeah.
So 1 week has really changed the minds of everybody, maybe 2 weeks, but of the Miami Dolphins. My God,
Well, I never was really high on them first.
A lot of people were high on them a couple weeks ago.
Well, when you bring heaters to Los Angeles, and now you're expecting to go play in Buffalo next week when it's 25 degrees and snowing. Are we going to see those Dolphins come out and Tua from Hawaii be good in the cold against Josh Allen?
No, I don't see it. But I'm just saying, like, people are high, and their offense looked unstoppable for a long stretch.
Hey, there's a team that will just throw the ball though. They will not run.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if we're talking about teams that just drop back and throw,
do you like Mike McDaniel?
I do like Mike McDaniel. I like him because he's just different than any other NFL head coach. He keeps the league interesting.
He's just weird.
He's weird, but I wouldn't hate him as a coach. No. I mean, I like Kevin O'Connell. I'd rather have Kevin O'Connell because I just like him more. But Mike McDaniel seems like a very interesting guy. He keeps the league interesting, and if he's winning, I like how the football.
He's kind of the Mike Leach of the NFL.
But
Mike Leach.
I like how the hardcore football guys get mad at him too.
Yeah. No, I've always liked him. Ever since his first viral video came out of his press conferences, I liked him. I kind of sneakily wanted the Vikings to hire him, but
what about a team like the Bucks? What are your thoughts on Tom Brady? Do you think they lose that division? Do they find a way to lose?
I think they'll win the division.
I don't think so.
Also, what are your thoughts on people? There's a little buzz since they're so bad, that division is so bad, that it's just top 8 teams make the playoffs and not any division. Not like your division leader, if they're like 7 and 10, they don't make the playoffs.
I'd be cool with that.
I don't care. That'd be fine.
I'm actually not cool with it because I think it's hilarious when a 7 and 10
team
makes the playoffs, and it's just like if you can win your crappy division,
like the Panthers
division, and then get blown out in the first.
You imagine the Panthers making the playoffs, like that team.
They should be tanking. It makes no sense that they're still trying with this.
Like 5 weeks ago, I would have told you they might be the worst team in the NFL, but now they have a chance at making the playoffs.
Which is dumb. They shouldn't be winning.
No, it is dumb. All right. Anything else on the NFL?
No, I'm excited for this weekend. There's some decent games, especially a good game tonight. Niners and Seahawks. That is
a good game.
That's an interesting game. We didn't mention the Seahawks, but I think they're. I would love to play the Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs.
I'm gonna love who we play in the first round either way because none of the teams scare me. The Giants don't.
Yeah, like the Commanders. You're telling me Taylor. I'm so out on Taylor Heineke. Everyone thinks he's the greatest player. He just makes bonehead decisions.
Yeah. I would love for him to come into a road environment in the playoffs.
Any of those teams are easy.
Yeah.
Giants, they stink.
Yeah.
Vikings are gonna if they lose let's say the Vikings lose the first round of the playoffs, there should be major changes in the offseason. But
like what? No, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger like
what?
That.
Just Ed Donatel getting fired, basically.
Yeah, that's
a major change, is firing your defensive coordinator.
Right.
But personnel, I mean, you just got to draft some people.
I think their defense has some old people. I think they might need to youthsen up the defense. Like we got some guys that have been there for a little long.
And
Eric Kendricks. Patrick Peterson's been really good.
I love Harrison Smith. I don't think Harrison Smith should go anywhere.
No, I don't think so. Eric Kendricks is old. Zadarius Smith, he's good. He is good. I don't know how much longer he will be good because he's had injury issues.
You just need to get a dominant for your defense to be really good. You need a dominant pass rusher. You look at the Steelers, the record with TJ Watt and without TJ Watt. You look at the record with TJ Watt and without TJ Watt, though, it's a winning record with them. It's a by far losing record without him.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
That's a player that's just as important as the quarterback on defense.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think we should draft in the first round?
I don't know. It's going to be a late round pick.
Yeah.
That's going to be
what position?
Depends on who's there, but maybe someone on the D line.
Yeah.
Like a defensive end.
Yeah.
I like how Evans has played this year too, honestly.
Yeah, I like Caleb Evans.
Dantzler goes on and off with me.
I think Cam Bynum is overrated. I don't think he's very good.
We got to hope Booth becomes a good player.
Yeah.
Not
And we gotta
not
hope
very confident.
and we gotta hope Scene becomes a good player too.
Yeah.
Which is definitely possible.
I would say
Yes.
linebacker. I would draft the linebacker.
Pass rush.
You don't really draft linebackers in the first round that much, so they're not that important in the defense.
Well,
what do you
let's get
mean?
the
Mike
best
Parsons?
one then.
He's technically a linebacker.
Who?
Parsons?
Yeah, he plays defensive line though. But
Yeah.
I'm
Just how
thinking
they-
of just like how the Bears got rid of Roquan Smith. Like you don't need the linebacker like that. Like it's
True.
nice to have, but it's not
We
your
need like a
1A
Luke.
priority.
We need like a Luke Kuechly type. I know he doesn't play
Minus the
anymore,
concussions, but
but yeah,
Oh yeah.
that
Go
that
back to that.
archetype of player, just an elite tackler, someone like that. All right, let's talk about the Twins real quick because obviously Carlos Correa is no longer on the team. There might be 10 people in the stadium next year. I'm not sure what the next step is for this organization. But first question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are you that what the Twins offered and that they didn't get Carlos Correa?
all right, a month ago, I would have been extremely disappointed, I think. Like I was all in on the Twins getting him, but as time went on, I was like, they're not going to get him. Like they're just not. When teams that are interested are like the Mets,
Yeah.
like when you heard that buzz and then you heard the Giants and even the Padres, you're like, all right, all these teams have 4 or 5 times the amount of money that the Twins do.
It's
And
not
it's not
true.
like it's not like
they don't have 4 times the money. They don't.
all right, whatever. It's
Our owner is rich. He just doesn't want to spend shit.
but it's not like
It's no longer Joe, it's Jim. Or
Yeah.
sorry, it's no longer Jim, it's Joe.
it's a new guy, whatever. But it's
nephew.
not. I just don't see the Twins re-signing those. It's not like Correa had huge loyalty to the Twins either for 1 year.
Yeah.
Like it was just a little bridge deal, and Scott Boras kind of played him. What we should have done, honestly, is trade him at the deadline.
No.
Yeah, but they were in
you gotta
first
give him a
place.
chance to come back. You
They
gotta
were
give
in
him a chance to
first
come back.
place. There was zero chance they were
No, they
trading him.
were. But like looking back now, if you could have a
Well,
do-over,
obviously. But they were in first place, and it was not going to happen.
No, it wasn't. What I will be out on the Twin. I will be extremely mad at the Twins if they trade Luis Ariz, though.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Are they going
I
to give up
agree.
the batting champ?
you can't. And yeah, you can't.
You can. You can if you're gonna get some elite pitching, but he can't fess that.
Hell, he can
Can't
play
fess
4
the league.
different positions. He's valuable.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not, but you need to get rid of him if you're gonna get a good pitcher. But
No,
we're not
you
going
don't.
to.
You can
Yeah, you
sign
do.
a damn pitcher.
If that's we don't do that. We
Well,
don't
we
do
can.
that.
You think that there's any chance that Royce Lewis comes in the lineup and is a valuable day-to-day
I'm-
shortstop? That's good.
Huge chance.
I'm
Really
high
good
on him.
chance.
I am too. Are his ACLs going to be okay though? Hasn't he had multiple knee
I don't know.
injuries?
I mean, yeah, it's depressing. I don't know. So I'm going to go now. I think
Okay.
I am a 9 out of 10 in disappointment. When I saw the final offer, I was pissed.
See, I
If-
disagree with you.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Like it's like, oh, we tried. 10 times 285. We made a good run at it. That's what the Twins always are. And I was hearing, or I thought that everyone was reporting the Twins were really in the mix. Like
They were.
I bet they were.
I
in
know
the
they were.
mix.
They made a huge offer. It's like you couldn't get to 300 million. You had to stop at 285. That was just too much. Like Correa liked it here. Like he would have came back if the numbers were right. Maybe just a little less than San Francisco. It could have been done. And everyone's like, "Oh no, I'm happy."
It has nothing to do with
13 years is too long. Well,
It
it's
has
like, well,
nothing
shut
to-
up.
It has
Like,
nothing to
it's-
do with the dollars. It's the years. That's
You're
what,
telling me we couldn't have afforded $30 million a year for 10 years? We could have.
we gave
We
him.
offered 28.5.
We offered more money than the Giants are offering per year.
Yeah, I know that, but
Which is crazy because like I feel like you'd want to accept
it would have
that
made a
if you're
difference
Correa.
if we went up to 300 and above. I'm telling you, 10 times 300 or 10 times 325. That could have gotten it done, especially with the taxes out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love those
liked it
really
here.
long
I
contracts.
don't like the idea of having him at 40 years old.
Well,
We saw what happened with Joe Mauer.
We saw what happened.
Ruins your bankroll.
We saw what happened with Ryan Suter and Zach Parise on the Wild.
It's great, but if you don't win a damn championship, you're punting on the last 5 years.
Doing? Like, if we're not going to try to sign the big players, then what are we doing? Like,
well, you're right. Like, I want it. I'm not saying I didn't want him.
They're not. They don't have a really low payroll, but they're not big fish spending anything.
Well,
they could be.
The thing is now, if they don't do something with this money they were planning on spending on Correa, then we have issues. Because
they also
now
just got a top 5 pick in the draft, which maybe he'll be ready in 7 years, so that'll be nice.
Well, I do what you're saying, but it's actually becoming less and less time.
No, I know. It's just kind of funny how long
they're like doing 2 years, 3 years.
It's meaningless to me. MLB draft doesn't mean anything until the player actually shows up on the roster.
Normally, top 5 picks in the MLB are can't misses, though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
most of the time.
That's true.
I texted you last night the projected lineup for the team this year. Now it's not great.
No, it's not.
Let's see here.
Well, Matt, what do you think about Max Kepler without the shift? any improvement?
He's gone. He's gone. He's out of here. They're trading.
He might be, but
no, they're trading him.
No, that's a good point, though. I didn't think about that. Kepler without the shift could be a great player.
Kepler hits in the shift like 90% of the time.
Grounder to the second base, sit in outfield.
Regardless of the shift, the second baseman is still going to get that every single time.
I also
nice little tiny.
I love Kepler playing right field. I think he plays the bounce perfectly at target field every single time.
Stop. This team they need to get rid of him. He brings nothing offensively.
So we got
decent pitch. Like, we have mediocre starting pitching next year.
If we can stay healthy,
and that will lead to mediocre results.
Oh, you're right. I just want a playoff win. That's what I want. One playoff win.
And don't you think that the owner would agree with us on this? But no, I guess not. I guess he just cool with being.
It's just the issue with our pitchers is we have so many guys that love getting hurt.
Yeah, well, Kenta back next year.
I have the pitching here. We had Joe Ryan, who I think is overrated. Every time last year,
I kind of agree too.
Every time he played a team that could hit a fastball, he would get mashed. Sonny Gray is the only pitcher I actually like here. Kenta I like, but he's coming. I don't know what to expect. Tyler Mahle has lingering issues with his shoulder, and Bailey Ober, I don't know. He's a very, very mediocre starting pitcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Our relief pitchers, fortunately, we still have Emilio Pagan.
Yeah, thank God, right?
It wasn't enough that he lost us the AL Central crown last year. It wasn't enough. We had to bring him back.
It's like, well, another team will take him. Like, okay, they can have him.
Have him for a freaking washing machine. You send us your washing machine, we'll send you Emilio Pagan.
Like, he should be getting booed every single time he's trotting in.
Oh yeah, trust me. I was trying to get everyone else around me to do it.
Trust me, I was unfortunately one of the last ones to come off the Pagan train here.
No, he was defending him.
I held on to the He's got great stuff bit. That was I had confidence in it because he drank
the Rocco Kool-Aid with the he's got great stuff.
What's their closer's name again? That's
even though his stuff keeps getting hit 50 feet over the fence. But yeah, he's got great
consistently
stuff.
His stuff gets hit 50 feet over the fence. What's that rookie closer's name though?
Duran.
Yeah, Duran's he could be good.
I think he's the best reliever in baseball.
He might be the best.
That
might be the best person on the Twins next year, but
he might be the best player on the Twins if Buxton.
Let's say Jose Miranda takes another step. Buxton stays healthy somehow.
It's promising. If you were to add Correa to that, you're like, okay, you have something here. And then Royce Lewis, you put him at third base. Like, this could have been really, really exciting.
Who's playing short? I assume Royce Lewis plays short.
Oh, we got Kyle Farmer.
Oh yeah. Who's that catcher they just got?
Christian Vasquez.
Yeah.
I've always liked him. I think he's a good catcher.
That was a good signing. Yeah.
Is there any way they're getting that Dansby guy? Because I've seen the other teams in the mix, and it seems like they're not going to get him again.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
I think they're now going to be looking for a starting pitcher. I hope it's Carlos Rodon, but supposedly the Yankees are all over him. So that's probably not going to go well. So we may as well
just pack it up and go home, right?
At least we don't have Josh Donaldson anymore, I'll tell you that.
Good news is we still have meatball lefty Caleb Thielbar pitching.
I actually didn't mind him.
Yeah,
I didn't mind Thielbar.
you loved Caleb Thielbar, and I unfortunately liked Emilio Pagan for too long. Caleb
Oh, yeah, I
Thielbar.
still have those texts where you're talking about how Thielbar is worse than Pagan.
The good news for us though about the Twin season next year is that it'll be cheap for us to go to games.
You know, but do you really want to support this team? You don't want to. You want to support the ownership that doesn't put the fans first, like the Vikings do, which is why the Vikings have the best owners.
Yeah, they are. The Twins owners annoy me, but at
irritating.
least I'm paying $10 for some nosebleed ticket and then just walk into the other section. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, until the old guy asked for your tickets.
Didn't happen once last summer. Went like 5 times.
No, yeah, it was fun. It's just
it happened to us, right, Borsey? Were you with me?
The old guy.
Old guy said he was going to escort us out.
No, he said he's going to call the police, didn't he?
It's like, give me a break. This team stinks.
There was nobody within 20 feet of us, and he said he was going to escort us out.
What did you say again? Did you?
I don't remember what I said, but here,
our top 4 bullpen
arms are actually solid because I think
Duran carries.
Duran, Lopez,
Griffin Jacks had a really good year,
yeah.
and Jorge Alcala is very has a lot of talent. He was hurt all of last year. I think he's a good pitcher.
Doesn't the name Griffin Jacks, you just sound like you're like a Cali douchebag though? That name just
he was in the Army. He was in the Air Force or something like that.
Yeah, good guy, but I'm just solely basing it off the name.
Hey, what do you think of Lewis? I don't know if Borsey's into it, but Rico Bosco's back. What are your thoughts?
That's kind of funny. I don't know, a little entertaining, but
all right. Do we have anything else we want to hit on before we leave?
Yeah, 10 times 285 is way too low, and there was no chance that was going to get done.
Scott Boras rules the world in the MLB, and
no, he does.
I think what
he does.
Yeah, and he is the one that makes all the decisions. I think on everything.
It's maddening because Carlos turned down 10 times 275 last offseason by Detroit. He turned that down. And the Twins think that adding $10 million to that is going to get it done.
Yeah, $1 million more per year.
It's ridiculous. I was shocked by the final offer. I was actually encouraged that we were going to re-sign him because of all the stuff coming out. Like the Twins are really pushing. And then final offer, 10 times 285. Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, good news is Rudy Gobert is questionable tomorrow now, added to the injury list.
We'll probably be back next week, early next week.
No. Hey, we need to get Lewis's thoughts on the current state of.
Well, I haven't watched a single game because I don't support the Timberwolves, but it's funny laughing from afar at how bad Rudy Gobert was because I said at the time this is the most disastrous trade, and
he has not been bad. It has not been on Rudy Gobert. It's not on him.
It's not on Rudy Gobert. It's the fact that they have no first-round picks for the next 25 years.
That's not true. They have one every other year.
Okay. They have one in 24.
But you just can't win with Cat.
The issue is the roster construction is just screwed up.
The issue is you will never be able to win with Cat, and Cat needs to be gone. Maybe just
and we will be trading him on what is it?
Hey, did you see that tweet that Dane Moore put out, Borsty?
No. What did you say?
So in 2019, when Cat got hurt, the Timberwolves were 10-15. And the rest of and during his absence, they had the 30th ranked offense. This year, since Cat's been out, 30th ranked offense.
I don't care. It's about the roster reconstruction.
I agree. I'm just saying
it's that he's not a winner.
No, I know.
It's not about Cat. It's not about Cat.
I'm just pointing out a statistic.
I just like calling people bums.
Just admit that this team's offense they kind of need Cat back.
Well, but they also need Taurean Prince back, and they also need Jordan McLaughlin.
No doubt about it. And they need D'Lo back. And now if Rudy's out, they need him back.
I think about this all the time, Tuck. But honestly, I'm just gonna be so relieved when we trade Cat. Honestly, I'm gonna be relieved. I'm gonna be we did it. Maybe
you're gonna get it's not like you're losing Cat for nothing. You're gonna get a lot.
But the thing is, he has a contract extension that is potentially the Titanic to trade. That's why we need to do it quick because his new extension, he is making so much money that not a lot of teams are going to want. So we need to get on this, and we need to get on it now. You need to start studying about stuff that you need. I'm serious.
The way you
And
said
need
that
to get
was
on
funny.
stuff, and you need
You
to
need to
see
get
what
on it,
players
and
you
you need
want,
to get on it now.
You do. No one's going to want that contract in 2 years. So you need to jump ship right now and trade him, and get some stuff back. Get some.
Well, you can't
defenders
trade
back.
him till June.
Yeah,
So
that's why you need to start studying up on who
So
you
let's
want to
let's
target.
root for him. Let's root for him. Build his value up.
No, don't care. Maybe they should just move the Timberwolves to Seattle. A-Rod, go back on
Tim
your word.
Connolly looks like he's gained a couple pounds.
He's always looked like that.
All right. Well, let's call this podcast a day. We'll probably be back early next week. Lewis, maybe he'll come on again soon. Talk some more Vikings and NFL playoffs once we get closer. And we'll see you next time. We